most Kenyans own land somewhere, but they might live in the city because they work in the city.
Of course.
Because they come to the city because this is where the money is, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, but they own land and they're growing food on their land.
That's
and
serious.
if things don't work out in the city, they can go back home.
Real talk.
They have a home that they not still paying for. It's paid off.
Yeah, and then one thing you got to understand, don't come here bringing that attitude that you see all the negative, but then you want to act like everything was clean in America.
Right, because it wasn't.
Because if that was so, why would you move?
I'm already trying to get get me a meeting with Ruto.
President Ruto.
Jeff and Steph, Jeff and Steph, Jeff and Steph, Jeff and Steph, living their best life, doing it their way. Jeff and Steph, Jeff and Steph, no limits, no excuses, and they do it unapologetically. Who is it? Jeff and Steph. Who is it? Jeff and Steph. Who is it? Jeff and Steph. Who is it? Jeff and Steph.
Hey everybody, you've tuned into the Jeff and Steph Show. I'm Stephanie.
And baby, you know I'm Jeff. From the ATL all the way here into Nairobi, baby. Boom!
And today we're talking about some things that have been sent to us via, somebody sent us a link to a podcast. We were listening to someone, ranting about their negative feelings about moving to Africa. And and what that means to them and all those types of things. And as we were listening to the different things she said,
she was from where? America?
She was from America. She moved to another part of Africa. And all of her gripes about the place, we were thinking about, they do that in the US. So we just want to talk about that because, we have so many perspectives about what she talked about and what she said and how we think about it. So that's what we're going to talk about today.
Yeah. First time I heard her, she came in straight hardcore. Nothing positive I've heard. Nothing. So you can tell it wasn't so much the environment here. She was already dealing with issues before she moved here. We have noticed as Americans, we have noticed that we do have mental issues being in America, and then moving to another country, we bring that luggage here. You want to kind of explain a little bit about that so we can kind of, maybe we kind of relate on what she's saying.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we bring the perspective that, we bring a United States perspective here. We bring our traumas here, and not to say here. When I say here, I'm talking just to the places where we go. But where you go, right? Yeah. Or where you go, you are.
Right.
Right. So when you think about that, you bring yourself, and if you're still having the same issues that you was having in the United States, that means that the issue is not the United States, it's not any other country, it's you.
YOU. So, when I heard her, she was just bad mouthing, and it hurted my feelings. So I knew once I kind of calmed myself down, because I was like, man, this laid off the chain. Until I realized when Stephanie listened to her, I heard it again. I was like, no, this ain't the place. She's running away from herself.
Yeah, and just running away from the U.S.
Yeah.
People be running from, thinking that when you leave the U.S. that you're going to come to something totally different. What you don't understand is the world is the world.
Yeah.
It don't matter where you go in the world. It's going to be negativity. It's going to be foolishness. It's going to be, but but every place brings its own positivities, right? And you have to weigh those out to see whether you want to, you want to deal with.
Based on what you're looking for.
What you looking for. I know what you're looking for.
Anyway, so you have to ask yourself, when you move, what are you trying to gain?
Yeah.
That's very important, because if you ask yourself what you're trying to gain, then really you're trying to make a prototype. You're trying to make a world that's not real in your mind.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So you trying to put the pieces together like a jigsaw puzzle. That ain't gonna work like that.
You can't bring a U.S. perspective to another country. Period. Point blank, and that's just what it is. And every place is going to have negativities. You just have to see what works for you. And you don't move to a place, and you don't when you don't when you can't answer those questions. You can't say, okay, what is it? What's the positive that it can bring to me? And is that more important than the negative that it has? You just have to weigh those things out.
So basically, Stephanie, if you can remember what she was talking about, then let's talk about 5 things that she's talking about, and we can address it,
Okay.
with our own experience here ourselves on the continent.
Okay. Well, can I just say this one thing?
Okay.
Okay, because one of the things she dealt with was whether we're indigenous to the Americas or whether we're indigenous to Africa. And our belief, as we stand, we believe that we were indigenous to the planet, right? And then the planet broke into pieces, and then the colonizers named them.
Or the land broke into
Right,
pieces.
the land broke into pieces, and the colonizers named them. So with that, because we know that history, we're indigenous to the earth as a people. Some people may be able to backtrack their roots to the Americas, and some people may be backtracking their roots to Africa. But all in all, the melanated people of the earth, I believe that we are one. We are one people. So that's just our belief.
Yeah.
And with that, because we believe that, like, there's no point into saying that if I go to Asia, that's my home. If I decide, wherever you choose to be, that's where you're gonna be at, and that's gonna be your home. So it don't matter where you go on this planet, you're still the direct descendant. If you're a melanated person, you're a direct descendant of the Most High Creator, and that's what we stand on that. And so that's one thing that she addressed, that she kind of wrestled. She looked like she was wrestling with that.
Yeah, and the thing about it, I don't know if she got some bad information on YouTube, because we realizing YouTube, man, can really put some bad information, and the title don't go with what the program is about. So you have to be careful. It is all about how to pull you in to watch.
Well, no, she didn't get it from YouTube because she lives in Ghana.
Well, no. I'm saying before she moved.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You got to get some type of form, some form of idea. You talk to someone, or you watching some film or whatever. Then next thing you know, you got to understand somebody created that picture.
And it's all perspective.
Yeah.
Everybody has one. Everybody has an opinion about a place, and it's all about perspective. And if your perspective is, when I say Americanized, or you trying to use the United States is not the
status quo.
It's not the status quo. And when we talk about third world countries and fourth world countries,
what is a third world and a fourth world? Let's get that.
In reality,
come on, let's get that.
In the reality, a real third world country or fourth world country cannot sustain itself with itself.
Okay, break it down a little more.
So, United States and all the European nations that have all these riches that are supposed to be at the top of the totem pole, they're only on top because of the riches that they take from Africa. So who has the true riches? Who has the true, United States don't barely have any natural resources. It might have a little oil, but it doesn't have natural resources. So in that it doesn't have the natural resources, everybody gets their riches from Africa. And if everybody gets their riches from Africa, then Africa can no longer be called a third or fourth world country, because if everybody moved out and left like they need to.
Well, I ain't gonna say leave, because the whole planet blown up.
No, I'm not talking about air. I'm talking about everybody. I'm talking about the colonizers.
Oh, okay.
If all the colonizers.
Or the colonizers.
Let's not get into that. Let's just use that. Can we use that term and just be neutral?
All right, cool.
Okay, so if the colonizers left Africa alone,
and where they going?
Go back to. I can't say go back to where they came from.
Because what is original?
They really did go back.
What is original from them?
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay, so if we sent them back, at least back to Europe, then.
So well, I ain't gonna get it back.
Stop. Okay, if the colonizers were sent back to Europe, okay, and put out of Africa, in some places it has been. Shout out to Burkina Faso and Ibrahim Toure, but if they do that, they can sustain themselves.
Yeah.
They can create the wealth. The wealth in the country is enough to sustain itself.
Okay. So,
Yeah.
what was the second thing she was issue was?
She talked about a whole lot of different things. So let's start with the first one. She said you can't fully own land
Man.
in Africa. So she said if you're, maybe this is just in Ghana, I don't know, but you can only, she said, if you're not a citizen, you can only own the land for 50 years.
Yeah.
But if you are a citizen, because you are from another country, you can own the land for 99 years. That's actually true in lots of places. That's true in Jamaica. That's true in most other countries. You can't necessarily just own the land because you're not from the land.
Well, I think that's on paper.
Yeah.
But with corruption, money talk, so sometimes
not even that, but
so sometimes that may not be a real foundation to be true.
Well, it is true because we know people who own land. I've sold land here in Kenya, and you can own the land, but it is a 99-year lease type situation. But it's renewable. It's renewable. I can't even say it. It can be renewed. Okay, so yes, it is 99 years, but it can be renewed. All you have to do is apply for the paperwork and renew that.
We got to make sure that paperwork is legit.
Yeah, but it's 99 years. Okay, so the average human necessarily doesn't live for 99 years. And this is talking about your time frame and maybe 30 years into your kids. And then now your children have to pay for that 99-year lease again. So it's not a bad exchange.
Yeah.
So, and to say that in the United States, you don't own the land either, because you can pay I don't care how much money you pay for your house, you still got to pay taxes. And if you don't pay your taxes, what they're going to do? They're going to take your house. Right? So it's the same concept. It's just worded differently, right? It looks differently. But and that is true in the first year if you default on your you default on your taxes.
Now,
so,
I have not really studied, but I heard that they have land, what they call that, land in America where you can't own the land. Forgot the word it's called, land. I'll come back to it. It's like that you can't own the land. That you can't own the land. I forgot the name.
You can own the land, but you still got to put it. Don't matter what you own in the United States. The point is that you can own the land, but you still have to pay your taxes. If you default on your taxes, they can come take your land.
Okay.
Period, point blank. Okay. So what's the difference if I say I have a 99-year lease and in 99 years they can come take my land?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. But the thing is, they don't just take it. They, like I said, they renew it. So it's renewable. Okay.
Okay.
So yeah.
So what was the third thing she was talking about?
She talked about infrastructure.
Yeah.
So every part of Africa has different infrastructures. They don't have a system like we do in the States where all these streets are paved and all this other kind of stuff. For the most part, if we think about the history of how the United States was even, how the infrastructure was established. First of all, they had many years, hundreds of years of free
labor.
Free labor. Yeah. You can talk about, they had architectures that they created a structure for it to be so. And that same structure can be, or that same thing can be here. It's different here because the laws are different, and because they're changing the way they do things, modernizing. But I don't necessarily believe that modernizing will make you more of a better country, just because even Kenya's infrastructure is great. It actually has great infrastructure, has real streets. Yes, I mean there'll be streets with potholes, but hell, I'm from Milwaukee, Wisconsin, honey. It's potholes everywhere. I don't know too many places. It's nice it's gonna be nice places, and it's gonna be places with potholes. You're gonna have mansions, and around the corner you're gonna have the hood. I don't know anywhere or any major city that you can go into that won't be true. And that's another thing she talked about, where she said you'll be living in a fancy place and then right behind you is the hood. Well, that's true everywhere.
That's true.
Oh, you can think about all the major cities. New York. You know, New York. You think about what other major cities?
All of them.
Um, L.A. You think about
Atlanta,
Atlanta. So
Miami.
you think about all these places. They all have nice place. They're nice places,
Yeah,
and right behind those places, if you go around the corner, you're gonna be in the hood. I mean, that's just true for any metropolitan city.
yeah.
So when you say that that's what this is here, then I mean it's the same thing. I don't think I see anything different.
Well, what led us here was the infrastructure to where it's similar, just like of Atlanta. That's what caught
Yeah,
my attention.
yeah,
Because before then, I'm thinking the whole continent, just a jungle, elephant and bears and
right.
gorillas and monkeys
And you
and
can have that if you want.
yeah,
You
yeah,
can go
yeah,
live. You can live where it's a bunch of trees. You can live where it's desert. Like it's a one thing about Africa is it has all of those major
yeah,
sceneries, and you can have whatever type of scenery you want. You want to be
yeah,
in the city, like we're in the city because Jeffrey liked being in the city.
yeah.
But if it was for me, we'd be somewhere out in the outskirts,
Still
where
might, you still might, you never know.
in the outskirts and living off the land. I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah,
that's to me that's real. And then think about this. I tell Kenyans this all the time. Most Kenyans own land somewhere, but they might live in the city because they work in the city,
of course.
because they come to the city because this is where the money is, right?
Hmm.
So, but they own land and they're growing food on their land.
That's
And if
serious.
things don't work out in the city, they can go back home.
Real talk.
They have a home that they not still paying for. It is paid off.
Yeah.
It might have been built by the hands, but it's paid off.
Hmm.
They got food. We stayed with a brother in Machakos. They grow their own food. So we were eating the food from straight from the garden. She
Yeah.
went out there.
That was out of
His
sight.
wife
Yeah.
picked it. Then we went in there. She cleaned it and cooked it, and we ate it.
Yeah.
And that right there to us
Yeah.
is true wealth.
Yeah.
If you can sustain yourself, if the funk hits the fan and nothing is working, electricity is out,
Hmm.
Kenya Power don't give us power,
Yeah.
whatever. Those people who live in those places, those rural places, or
Yeah.
even on the outskirts, or people who have their own sustainable living, they sustain themselves.
And then one thing you got to understand: don't come here bringing that attitude that you see all the negative,
Mm,
but then you want to act like everything was clean in America
right, because it wasn't.
because it wasn't. Because if that was so, why would you move?
Right,
You know what I'm saying?
right,
So you have to ask yourself, what is the reason why you're moving?
yeah,
Do that first,
yeah,
and whatever reason that you have, you need to investigate before you ask you to move. Go and visit these places.
for sure.
You know, and stay at least a month. I know it's hard to stay somewhere for a whole month if you got to work, but a week or two ain't gonna do it because most of the time you can be staying on the results.
Yeah,
You got to live abroad,
yeah.
check things out,
Really move.
really get a chance to know the people,
Right.
know the people. Don't know the people from a distance,
Yeah.
and don't say they this and that. You're not perfect
Because
so,
everybody is not.
yeah.
They try to like she really really like made like the Africans don't want you here, and that's not true.
No.
And I don't care where you go, you're gonna have a few people who have a certain mindset, and those are usually people who haven't traveled, right?
Yeah.
That small mindset. You have those people everywhere. It
Of
don't
course.
matter what country you go to, you're gonna have those people who are small minded,
Hmm.
who only think about themselves and think about. She's talked about tribalism. Shoot, in a sense, we have a type of tribalism
Of
in the
course.
States.
Yeah.
It's built on
Yeah.
religion, politics,
School, education.
school, how much money you have.
Hmm.
So if you want to talk about that, we go into that little area. Only people only stay in their little circles
Right,
or their little squares.
right.
And it's the same thing if you want to compare that to tribalism.
Hmm.
It's the same
Same
thing.
thing.
But at the end of the day, we have so much to divide us.
Right.
When we are the same people, right? We have so much to divide us,
Hmm.
but we have very little things to come together upon. And if we could come together on the fact that we know that we are the direct descendants of
Yeah.
the Most High Creator,
Yeah.
and if we can just build on that, and we can lay aside every weight that so easily besets us,
Hmm.
we would be doing well. So listen, don't believe everything you hear. Don't believe the hype.
Don't believe the hype. Don't Flavor Flav, boy.
Hey, but don't believe everything you hear, okay? Because there are some negative things, but just remember that perspective everybody has a perspective.
Right.
Everybody has, and I'm sure it's so many people that I know who love Ghana, right, or love Kenya, or love the different places that they're in, and they wouldn't trade it.
Yeah.
And they wouldn't trade the peace of mind that they have.
Of course.
The sister talked about the food, like the natural food, like what's natural and what's. So yeah, they use chemicals in Africa because there are some people who have been taught to use chemicals, just like in the States. And you have to find out what kind of food you're eating. So yeah, there's chemical food, and we most definitely try to go to the holistic side of it, where people are doing holistic farming and natural farming. And not using pesticides. So yeah, you still have to. Don't think that you're gonna go somewhere and you're gonna forget. You need to forget what you have learned in life. We found out. We know that they're poison in the food. We know that, and it's true here. Shoot, y'all know Bill Gates was over here. So you know what I'm saying. So don't be disillusioned by these thoughts that we think, oh, just Africa is just gonna be so perfect. It's different.
And then
most definitely.
And then one thing too, learn the people. Have a
Learn
relationship with the people. Now, of course, scammers everywhere.
Yes.
Yeah, they scam here.
Oh,
big
they
time.
scam everywhere.
Big time. But the thing about it is that you cannot size everybody up like everybody's scamming. It will put you in a position like that, make you feel like you can't trust somebody, but you got to trust somebody.
The biggest scam that you experienced, where were you at?
America. Yeah. Many times. Not no one time.
Listen,
many times.
So at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? People scam is a scam is a scam, and a scammer is a scammer is a scammer. And it don't matter where you go, because they exist. Bad people exist, negative people exist, scammers exist, everything exists. There is crime here. It's not a lot. It's not really that big, but it does exist. You can't let your hair down just because you in another country. You have to use your common sense. So, at the end of the day, I say to all of you, just research where you want to go, where you want to be at. Go see the place, get to know the people, and know the layout of the land, because, Africa is a beautiful place. And if you don't find the beauty in it, that's on you.
Also, man, since we've been here in Kenya, I can say 1% of the negativity that I had and experience with the people, but 99 cover all of that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So even with that, I have to be able to see myself.
Yeah.
Because I can't think that I'm right and they're wrong.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And because they have a whole culture.
Right.
Really, and that's something that we had to learn. I'm talking about there's so much to talk about.
Right. And so she talked about not having water, that they turn the water off, or not having electricity. We haven't had that. We don't have that problem in Kenya.
No.
They actually have it is a Kenya Power. It does exist. We pay our electric bill. It's actually a little. One day we'll show y'all. We'll do a little short and show y'all how we pay for our electricity. The gas, we buy the little tank, the gas tank. So we in our internet, we pay for internet. So we haven't experienced those things. I do know that Ghana is a little bit less, and there are places that are less,
of course, have
less infrastructure and are less developed than others. So you just have to know where you're going and where you want to be.
Then also if we ain't gonna point to ourselves to say we bougie,
right?
Because Africa ain't for bougie people.
We ain't bougie.
You know what I'm saying? So,
but we have a nice place. So we live in a nice place. We live in a nice apartment complex. I know you can kind of see. We live in a nice apartment complex, and it's it's nice. It's clean. Now, trash is a thing.
Yeah, big here.
Finding trash, but listen, if you have ideas, then maybe it's your opportunity to help where you are. If you decide to live somewhere, I feel like you should want to contribute to the betterment of the place. Some people say they don't want that lot. They just come here, they want to retire, and that's it. But then now, if you're not going to be part of the solution, then you can't be complaining about.
That's real talk.
What's going on. So if you feel like you have an idea that may help the country, then help the country. I'm already trying to get get me a meeting with Ruto.
President Ruto.
So I'm trying to get, get in the room because I got some ideas that may help,
Yeah.
and he may listen. So, why not try? Because this is where we say we want to be, and we might go try some other countries, and we might love some other countries better. We don't know.
Yeah.
But this is where we are right now, and we're gonna do what we can to benefit where we are right
Yeah.
now.
We're gonna bridge the gap.
We're gonna bridge the gap.
So for my Kenya people or my other African people, let's get together.
Let's get together.
Let's make things work because we can bridge that gap. We're divided on so many reasons and things, but we don't understand the foundation of dividing.
Yeah.
Let's remove from that point.
Right.
It's 2025 going into 2026.
Right.
It's a new thinking,
Right.
because the new generation cannot carry the old ways of things, and they're not
Right.
going to do it.
Right.
That's why a lot of times they fight, they butt the system, and not just in Africa. That's worldwide.
Worldwide.
So we have to listen to them as well. We're mid-age, but the thing about it, we can bridge the gap with the old and the young,
For sure.
so we can work things together.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah. And you can be a citizen in Kenya, but it does take 7 years for you to become a citizen. You can't just get citizenship.
Yeah.
There are some places that are opening the doors and they're doing special citizenship, giving people citizenship. A lot of them are if you show that you have the roots in those places. Like if you can show your lineage goes back to that place, they'll automatically give it to you.
Yeah.
But there's a process for citizenship everywhere. There's a process for residency everywhere. And you have to go through their process. You can't think that you're going to walk up into a place and not get it.
And say, man,
and you have to pay for it.
Where I'm supposed to sign it.
Exactly. And you have to pay for residency. You can't you can't go to any country and get free residency.
Yeah. You ain't finna do that in America.
You're not going to do that in America. So people have to go through class. Even in America, they make you go through classes. You got to pay. You got to answer questions that most Americans can't even answer.
And they want to call you a runaway refugee.
Right. All of that. So listen, there is a process for everything. And if you think you're going to go somewhere and you're not going to follow the process and you don't have to follow rules because you're American, it's just not going to work like that. And the doors are open. And the funniest thing about the podcast when she finishes, she's still there in the country she chose.
You talking about the lady,
the young lady that she's still there, and she says she's not leaving because her child doesn't want to leave. What does that tell you?
So go somewhere else. I mean,
but
yeah.
Look, her own child doesn't want to leave.
Right.
So there's there has to be value if you're still there, because otherwise you'll go back home.
But her son said the reason why he want to live there because his safety, he feel that more secure in Africa than they do in America. So you got to look into that as well. It's gonna be pros and cons everywhere.
Yes, that's so true. So there are pros and cons to every place. You just have to be open-minded. You can't be closed-minded, and you can't come here with that American mindset. You got to let go of your traumas and deal with your traumas from the States and know why it is that you are in the country that you chose. Okay, so that is super important when you're choosing a country to live in. So we hope that we have enlightened you or made you understand this a little bit better. But I hope we address some questions that people may have, and we'll continue to. So if you would like, share, subscribe,
of course, and definitely your comments.
Comments.
We'll come back to them. We will not forget, because we definitely want to find a way how we can be able to solve answers on both sides. Because we don't have all the answers, you don't. But if we work together, we can resolve these things.
That's right. So connect with us. We're Jeffrey and Stephanie. He's Jeffrey Cersei on Facebook. I'm Stephanie Lagan on Facebook. And listen, reach out to us, whether it's on the YouTube or on our Facebook pages, Messenger. If you're coming to Kenya, go ahead, inbox us. We most definitely will respond. And we appreciate you. We appreciate all your support, and we'll see you till next time.
Come to the Jeff Steph Show.
We're still working on that.